Good afternoon. European law enforcement have arrested 9 suspected money launderers who set up a cryptocurrency fraud network that stole millions from victims across multiple countries. The fraudsters allegedly created fake cryptocurrency investment platforms that looked legitimate and promised high returns, and recruited victims through various means, including social media and cold calling. Once victims transferred their cryptocurrency, they were unable to recover their funds, whilst the criminals successfully laundered more than €600 million in stolen assets using blockchain tools. The coordinated operation took place on October 27th and 29th in Cyprus, Spain and Germany, and was coordinated by Eurojust. Last month, European police arrested 5 additional suspects linked to another large-scale cryptocurrency investment fraud network that had stolen over €100 million from more than 100 victims. EU climate ministers yesterday were considering further weakening their planned 2040 climate target in a last-ditch attempt to pass the goal and avoid going to the UN COP30 summit in Brazil empty-handed. The European Union had hoped to clinch backing from member countries to cut emissions 90% by 2040 from 1990 levels. The upcoming COP30 talks will test the will of major economies to keep fighting climate change in the face of opposition from the US President Donald Trump. Countries including France, Italy and Portugal had demanded the 5% flexibility, whilst others, including Poland, sought as much as 10%. Spain and the Netherlands were among those opposed to weakening the target any further. Support from at least 15 of the 27 EU members is needed to approve the new target. Mexico and Spain have taken what appears to be a definitive step towards diplomatic reconciliation after nearly 7 years of tensions stemming from a dispute over differing interpretations of the Spanish conquest. In 2019, former Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador demanded that the Spanish crown apologize for the violence committed during that period against indigenous peoples. Spain, which initially dismissed any possibility of issuing such an apology, acknowledged last week through the Foreign Minister José Manuel Álvarez that there was pain and injustice inflicted on the indigenous peoples of the Americas. And the services sector experienced its fastest growth in 10 months in October, driven by a surge in new work volumes and increased staffing levels, so a survey showed this morning. The services PMI rose to 56.6 in October from 54.3 in September. The expansion was supported by domestic demand, whilst international demand remained subdued. Due to global uncertainties, employment in the sector saw the strongest rise since July. Despite the robust growth, input price inflation remains a concern, with costs rising due to higher salaries, fuel and energy expenses. A sister survey released earlier this week showed the manufacturing sector's growth also accelerated in October. The economy is set to outperform its peers in the Eurozone for the second consecutive year. The government in September raised its full-year growth forecast to 2.7% from 2.6%. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.